We're back. Okay. We're back. And we got a new graphics driver installed. And we're actually recording the stream. So all that wonderful, awesome Wordle and everything we had earlier, that's not recorded, that's gone. That's disappeared into the ether. Never mind, eh? Whatever. I swear to God. Now. Let's open Steam up. Right, yeah, Scoo says it's definitely also Twitch, as Squidge does as well. Well, we seem to be live right now. So, I mean, let's just go. Access denied. You don't have permissions to access my own stream manager. I know if that's true. Need to check yourself, Twitch. What now? What's going on? What is even going on? Start watching. Yeah, just oh yeah, like yeah, the website seems fucked. Yeah, start watching. Yeah, fuck it. I don't know. Yeah, Twitch. But do you have access skill? I don't know. That's a good question. Thankfully, you're very trustworthy, so I've got nothing to worry about in that regard. Okay. We're back up and running. Okay, let's start the game again. Launching. Up to date. Up to date graphics driver. Let's get here. Okay, so I've even signed up for one of their random accounts, so it pretty makes any difference. Play the game. Let's go. Well. Okay, it's actually loading up, at least. So, let me, Baldur's Gate. There we go. Okay, we got the game on the screen. Oh, fingers crossed. Sorry, Heather. It's been a hard work today, hasn't it? We're not going to get much done today, folks. I'll make a character and read a bunch of stuff, and then we'll get into it. Oh, the artwork looks nice. The background artwork looks nice. Fuck my life. I still need to step out in a minute to go and piss. Yes, we'll accept your stuff. Oh. Explicit content warning. This adventure contains mature and sensitive subject matter. You can moderate some of this content by toggling the option below. This option, among others, can be changed at any time in the options menu. Show nudity. Yes or no? Well, I don't have a problem with seeing naked people, and in fact, I like seeing naked people. Yeah, exactly, Wolf. We're all born naked. We're all actually naked. You're not your clothes. You're walking around naked. You've just got a piece of cloth draped on your filthy naked body. So yes, we're going to show nudity. Okay, I don't know if it's going to be like a violence thing, but gamma correction seems to be fine. Any key to continue? Well, that looks lovely. Cross save activated. Now I'm not going to be playing on other platforms, but I don't know about anybody else. Let's accept that. Let's go through our options. Online visibility. Invitation only. Oh my god. Get some dramatic. Let's go sort the order out. Little bit laggy for you. Anybody else? Maybe it's just Twitch. Now for OBS. Slightly framey. You know what? This is fucking ridiculous. I think that might be, your slogan. How you doing? I'm very well. We're having all sorts of a weird day today. I think, folks... Has it just sorted itself out there? Looks fine now. Looks fine to you, Atheline. I think it just sorted itself out. I think the game is lagging the stream out. Some streamers have been stopped urchins for streaming with the nudity on. Has it suddenly started lagging again? I wonder if it's the so it's laggy right now, and now it's not because I'm out of the game. So okay, so it's not a Twitch problem. This is the game problem. I wonder if turn the graphics. See, I'd say turning the graphics down, but there are no graphics happening at the moment. Right. Okay. So maybe I'm gonna need to turn the. I didn't think it mattered for video game graphics. James, honestly, but maybe we need to turn that off then. Let's have a look. See if that makes a difference. We'll worry about the sound in a minute. Oh, I need to turn the music down slightly. I don't need it all the way up there. Okay. Aspect ratio, borderless windows. Do I need to turn it off? Cap the frame rate. To what? Oh, to that where we have there. Yeah, surely we want to cap the frame rate to 60. I don't need it more than 60. Okay, cool. Let's seems like it might be fractionally laggy, doesn't it? But when I look at OBS, is it OBS is not having any issues. OBS is 60 frames per second at perfect upload. It's definitely laggy though. Just a little bit. Okay. Sorry. Check something here. Sorry about this, guys. Yeah, I mean, my graphics card could probably barely handle this anyway, Logan. So I'll go over all that in a second. There's something I just need to I just want to turn off my Steam notifications here. Just getting stuff popping up that I'm just would rather not be distracted by. Aha, notification settings. Here we go. Ugh. Yeah, I'll go through it in a second, Root. Let me just try and sort this out as quick as I can. No, profile under. How'd you, they don't make it easy, do they? Crying out loud. I'm so sorry about this, guys. This has been probably the most balked stream of the whole history of the Iznib Show. For various reasons. I can only sincerely apologise to everybody. Yeah, it says open Steam, go to settings. Where are the settings? Okay, found it. Thank God. Right, okay. Right, turn off all notifications. Okay, that should be fine. Okay. Okay, I think I might have got that now. Okay. Right. That's done. Let me try and sort the game out now. Okay, now. Right, anyway. Right, overall quality, ultra. Let me see what there's under the custom. Oh. Custom does what? Auto detect. Auto detect puts us on ultra. I don't know why. Okay, so custom allows you to do all of those as they are. Let's just go do high. I mean, medium looks kind of fine, right? So let me put on... Sorry, my mouse wheel is on this mouse is... Motherfucker. God, I don't know which of this stuff I should be... So I'm going to assume that's... Has that done anything, guys? You have a look with that stuff moving on the screen. I have to go and pee. This is ridiculous. Akuma, how you doing, buddy? Oh, yeah, true, Root. Yeah, there was a week I just couldn't stream it all. A little bit, Red Mage. I'm fine now. Right. Has it seemingly made a difference, me dropping it down from ultra to medium graphic settings there? That it's not lagging out? You let me know. I still need to look through options, but you guys let me know. As we're going along. Is there anything else I need to go and change in all of this? Why is there not a scroll thing down here? Oh, yeah, overall preset. No, set that to medium, please. So it should be fine. I don't think there's anything else I need to do on here, is there? Let's see if we want to do the specifics. Hopefully. Anyway. Auto-save, that's probably going to be another idea. 25 auto-saves and quick saves. Okay, that's probably not bad. Cross-save. Different platform. I'm not going to have this game on a different platform, but still. Oh, here we go. User options. Show genitals. It's going to see, like, meat and veg. Zero lag. Thank God for that. It's going to see meat and veg flapping about. Is that... So I'll probably want to turn off the nudity, don't I? If we're going to get in trouble for it. Cinematic nudity. It's kind of annoying if we're going to get banned for it. Yes, genital visibility doesn't affect your adventure or access to romance options. It can, though. It can. Yeah, not if we won't get permanently banned, but it's not going to stop us enjoying the game. I don't need to see a willy. I can see a willy if I want to. Cinematic nudity, though. Sexual content during cinematics. I better turn that off as well. I still want to see the cutscene, though. You know, even if it's like blurred out, I don't want to not see a cutscene. It's possible. It's possible, definitely. Seriously, Akuma, you can actually be like, yes, and my penis is 15 inches long, and also 15 inches round. It's like, what? Share private moments. Oh, by default, certain scenes are private. This means that in multiplayer, other players cannot witness your yeah, okay. That makes sense, because it's D&D, isn't it? Exploration highlights. Choose, okay. Whether or not characters are highlighted with an outline and or circle out of combat. Okay, nothing to worry about at the minute. Turn-based highlights. Okay, when you're in combat, we'll leave that on. Tactical view. Okay, leave that as is. System of measurement, metric. Okay, that's fine. Yes. Imperial. I guess we'll just leave it on metric. Karmic dice. Karmic dice avoid failure or success streaks while keeping the results mostly random. Okay, so that can't stop you getting too many crit successes or too many crit fails in a row. Or roughly in a row. So you're gonna kind of mean that you won't get any like incredibly super lucky outcomes, but you won't get any incredibly super unlucky outcomes either. Yeah. Nah, right, James. Yes, 15-inch penis square. Go check the edges. Auto-select character after combat. So which character we selected when exiting turn-based combat? Avatar, select your original avatar. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Lock mouse to window. So we're gonna have to check these real quick. We can probably check a lot, sort through these as we need to, as we go along. But I just want to have a little look, see what's there. Okay, I'll probably leave that off. Yeah, I think we're on the edge panning on. Or maybe we don't. Maybe we want to move it on its own. I don't know. Combat camera shake. I don't know if that's going to be annoying. Follow flying creatures. Okay. Twitch integration. See my party view, track my quests, and vote on dialogue options. Do we even need this though? Is it going to be a bit annoying? Is there something else I've got to download and connect and... Right, yeah. Oh, mate, okay. I'll see. Keybinds. Okay, so WASD to move your camera around. I assume I'm mostly going to be using the mouse for most things, right? Right, scroll my shitty mouse scroll up, in and out. Okay, F keys to select your characters if you need to. Just probably just click on them in the menu, right? Hopefully I'm not going to need the keyboard too much, so I don't want to worry about it, but we'll... Right, so video setup, audio. Okay. Okay, interface elements, ambient noise will turn down to 85. Voice will turn down to 90. Chatter will turn that down to 75. Dynamic range. Okay. Mute the sound when we're out of the game, that makes sense, yep. Point and click voice frequency. Change the frequency of voice lines when exploring and interacting with the world. Change the frequency. If you say it on never, then they always say the same thing. And if you say it on always, they always say something different. Or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe never means they'll never say anything. I don't know, we'll leave it on always for now. Occlusion quality. Position of the physical object in the source of the sound. Yeah, and the camera. Cost of performance. Put on medium. Okay, that should be fine. Interface. Input mode. Or let the game detect your controller automatically. Specific input device. Yeah, be fine. Ah, minimap. North facing. When able to lock to the north, when disabled, the minimap rotates with the camera. I prefer a minimap that stays in place, honestly. I'll constantly rotate them on. Tutorials, yeah, I think so. Recent activity, enable to simply display combat log messages after events and action in the game. Probably, maybe helpful. Yes, okay, show all the information on your tooltips. When pinned. Okay. We'll go for that. Leave it on that for now. I might want to put it on all, but... Subtitles, yes. Speaker. Oh, okay, the speaker's name. Yeah, okay. Text on the background. I think I need to worry about... God, it's nice they've got lots of options here, but... Okay. You add stuff to your hotbar. Add arrows, consumables automatically, containers, throwables. Okay. I guess it doesn't matter what gets added there. Okay, I think that's all fine. Accessibility. Okay, yeah, here we go. Yeah, show genitals. You want to see big chunky penis flapping about. I wonder if you could give you a guy like a really tiny micro penis. Right, yes, this is going to be a problem. So when we start looking at the character build, and I'm like, oh, look at this, and you're doing like the penis length scaler, I guess that's when you're getting banned, isn't it? So we'll just have to leave the willies and the nudity off, I guess, guys. I'm going to turn the camera shake off. I think everything else is as it should be. Okay, I think we've done pretty much everything. Or close to everything. Watch it here. Here we go. New game. Let's get to difficulty. 3 different difficulties. Explorer, narrative experience, placing story before combat. Nothing wrong with that if people want to do it. Balanced adventure full of challenging choices. Or tactician, tough campaign. Emphasizing strategic combat. You know what I'm going to go for, don't you? You're looking forward to them, Mocha. Well, the thing is, the scale, it's so customizable, Scotty, that I would, on its lowest setting, you would not, it was invisible to the naked eye. So, alright, we're going to go balanced, folks. Because that's what makes sense to me. That's what I want to experience the game for the first time. Yes, allow access Windows Defender. Please go fuck yourself. Right, is that a lithid mind flayer? Okay, some kind of chamber. Okay, there's a door. Someone in the door. Some floaty guy, or maybe low gravity guy. Okay, some kind of, this is a orc lady, a half orc. Am I making assumptions based on her green skin and pointy ears? Okay, some people in. Okay, he's got a pool of leeches. Oh, he's putting a leech in this lady. She's like, oh no, fuck this. She's trapped. This guy doesn't care. Yeah, look, she's big tentacly face. No! It just went in her eyeball. Okay, I don't think it broke the sphere of her eye. I think it went up behind her eye, but that's fucking gross. You're not gonna get poked in the eye like that, giraffe. Or do you mean just she's hot? Okay, so I don't know anything about too much about lithids or what they're about specifically from Dungeons and Dragons. Who are you? Oh, is this us? Are we a captive of theirs? They've got humanoid prisoners, and they're infesting, you know, putting some kind of bug in us. I don't know. Tutorials can help you learn about. Yes, I want the tutorial, please. Right, okay. Who are we gonna play as? Okay, original characters. This was who we just saw in the cutscene. Oh, so you just choose to play as one of the characters. Well, we want to play as our own character, right? We don't want to play as one of the given ones. Laser was raised ready for a life amongst the stars, mercilessly conquering the cosmos as a Githyanki soldier. Oh, she's Githyanki. Oh, wow. I remember those from the Monstrous Manual. So she's not an orc at all. She's Githyanki. Who are they associated with, though? I can't remember. Grounded. She must deal with a world she doesn't understand and find a way to serve her people in a plane that despises her militant kin. So you got lag again. Okay, how do I get back? Turn to the main menu. Okay. This is going to be a problem, folks. I wonder if we can even actually stream this. Got off the jerky face. Yeah, it's not the first time I've been told that ever. Okay, alright, back to the video. Let's put it on low. We're going to go on the lowest graphical settings. And see, I mean, it still looks pretty amazing. Okay, can we skip this? Yeah.
Who are you?
Right now, folks. Wait for it to kick in. Yeah, you can already tell all the character models look terrible now. Specific, not terrible, really. Okay, now. It's much better now. Well, we gotta do what you gotta do, haven't you? Never mind. Rough day. It looks good enough for me. It's good enough to play. It's not, you know. It's so weird, though, that... For me, even on the ultra setting, I've got no lag playing, but the lag on the upload to Twitch is an issue, isn't it? Anyway. I've no idea. But anyway, so I think all these characters we're going to be hanging out with, or meeting, I guess. Anyway, so, Lae'zel is a Githyanki fighter. Obviously very strong, good constitution. Inspect. I need to know. I need to know all of their detailed stuff here, but she's just a warrior type. That's fine. Let me have a look at the other characters. Okay, I don't know if this is the right place for my face, is it? I don't know if I should put my face down in the bottom here. Before now, while we're going through this menu, at least. Astarion. After 200 years serving a cruel master, the vampire spawn Astarion is finally free. Free to walk in the sun, free to chase power, and free to take revenge. Okay, vampire boy. He's a rogue. Excellent dexterity, as you would expect. Okay. Gale. Who are you, buddy? Gale's wizarding prowess once earned him the love of Mystra, the goddess of magic. Whole goddess was like, hey, Gale, you're pretty good, bro. Until his ambition led him to the brink of catastrophe. Oh, it says, listen to the character's story. I should do this, shouldn't we? Yeah, obviously he's straight up wizarding guy. Obviously he's human. High elf vampire is Astarion. Shadow heart. High half elf is Shadow heart. Shadow heart willingly undertook a ritual to remove her memories in order to protect the secrets of her fellow Shah worshippers. Loss and pain are sacred to her, but her faith has now been tested like never before. Okay, so she's a cleric. Okay. Will, human warlock. Known as the Blade of Frontiers, will use his magic to fell the monsters and devils menacing the Sword Coast. The monster now, that's cool. In a moment of desperation, he accepts an offer of greater power, forcing him into an infernal game he's struggling to play. Now, I've asked this before, and some of you told me. What's the difference between a warlock and a wizard? Anybody? Oh yeah, oh no, 100% Logan. Yeah, I just want to find out about the other characters here. I assume they're going to be in the game. As we saw Lae'zel in the cutscene with us. I assume. Karlak. Karlak has escaped 10 years of service in the Hells with nothing but the axe on her back. And the infernal engine blazing furiously where her heart used to be. Zariel Tiefling. I don't even know what that is. I've heard the name Tiefling, but I really don't know this. She's a barbarian. Okay. Showing about these graphics. I wonder if I can maybe turn the characters models up. I guess they're going to look like little tiny little people when we get into it. Okay, cool. Thank you, Athleen. I think you told me that before, but and who is this lizard boy? White Dragonborn. Sorcerer. The Dark Urge. Hi, nice to meet you, Mr. the Dark Urge. What? What? He looks cool. That's very freaking cool. You remember nothing but a path paved with blood. Unimaginable cruelty whispers to you from within. Can you escape it? Would you even want to? I just want to listen to their little thing it's going to tell us. Let's watch these. Hello.
Hello, darling. Don't be shy. I promise not to bite until we've been formally introduced. My name's Astarion, and I've spent a century stalking the night, hunting for pretty morsels just like...
So you're just a regular vampire murdery guy. Okay, that's...
A man called Cazador made me what I am, kept me like a pet, forced me to do his bidding. No more. The Tadpole's influence broke his dominance over me, and now I can finally pursue the one thing I've hungered for these long, dark years. Revenge. I'm going back to Baldur's Gate to track Cazador down in his lair. I'll be the last thing the bastard ever sees.
Right, okay. All right, okay, the Tadpole, he said. So basically, these group of random people have basically been kind of what I'm getting, the vibe I'm getting is they've kind of been like almost picked up like alien UFO abduction. Just gonna gather you guys up. Now we've got you trapped. Now we're putting some tadpoles in your eyeball to do a thing. So Astarion is basically. So while he's been a vampire and he's been fucking people up, like vampires do, he's been a thrall vampire of a more powerful vampire. For whatever reason, the Elithid's tadpole, eyeball tadpole, has broken that connection between him and his master, or his creator, and now he's like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck that guy up now. Interesting. Yeah, exactly. Like, just mind flayers do mind flayer things. Just it's just no big thing. Interesting. Let's hear about the other characters.
Since I was born in the cold reaches of world space, I have known but one purpose: to wield a silver sword and ride a red dragon in service of my regent, the Githyanki Queen Vlaakith. My first step on this path is to slay a mind flayer and bring its head to my queen.
Oh, okay.
There is no flesh I will not carve, and no barrier I will not shatter to see it done. I am the one who sunders. I am the Undying Queen's most unshakable warrior. I am Lae'zel of Kalir.
Okay. Lae'zel of Kalir. She's just some warrior. Silver sword riding a dragon, and she's been tasked by her queen to... Now, if this is a thing that she has to do personally, or... all other warriors kind of do the same thing as her, have to go through these trials. She's got to get the killer an elithid and bring its head back as a trial, as a test to prove her worth or honor. Well, you're not doing very good because you've just been captured. But maybe she's maybe you know, maybe her true potential is yet to be revealed. Unlike James, who is over 9,000. Maybe she will become over 9,000. We shall see. Sorry, let me just add that flex on there for James, assuming my dashboard even works anymore. Yeah, there we go. Excellent. Wow, yeah, Twitch is... We've had so many issues today, this is insane. Okay, stream quality is still there. Just about. No worries, welcome back. Yeah, Twitch is in all sorts of issues at the minute, I think. "21 flexes from you, James. Thank you, buddy." So I've taken Jess there. There we go. Right, okay.
Well met, stranger.
Hello.
You find yourself in the presence of the renowned wizarding prodigy, Gale of Waterdeep. Please, no need to be intimidated.
I wasn't.
My virtuosic talents once caught the eye of the goddess of magic herself.
Which you can understand his ego.
Who named me her chosen and her lover.
Really? Really?
Thanks to a slight miscalculation on my part, that relationship eventually soured, as did the greatest of my powers.
Wow. Live and regret,
I'm
eh?
merely a humble wizard on the road to redemption. Unless I can find the path to something greater.
Okay. Well, Gale seems a bit cocky, but considering his history, you can't really, you can't, you know, I understand. Lae'zel seems like single-minded. She's just, I just want to kill this creature and go back home. Astarion's obviously just like, I want revenge. Which, I mean, I guess I could understand that. Shadowheart, what are you about?
My name is Shadowheart, loyal servant of Shar, goddess of darkness and loss. There is little more I can tell you than that.
Oh.
My Lady Shar tasked me with a mission of such secrecy that I surrendered great swathes of my memory in order to safeguard the knowledge of it. All I know is that I must bring the artifact I hold to Baldur's Gate, and that nothing can stand in my way. My goddess is watching.
Okay, so Shadowheart is a devoted, religious warrior. She's a priestess, essentially. This has been given a task to take some artifact somewhere, Baldur's Gate somewhere. To who? She doesn't know. And she's literally had some of her memories magically, surgically removed, because that's how important it was. And she's obviously that much of a devout follower of her goddess that she's like, yeah, I'll do that. That's fine. Yeah, just I'll lose some of my memories. It's fine. It's no problem. Cultist, some might say, Akuma. Some might say. don't know. Tell me about who you about, Will.
"7 years ago, I was exiled from Baldur's Gate, the city I call home. My name is Will, but the people of the Sword Coast call me the Blade of Frontiers, champion of the meek, defender of the innocent.
Okay,
The
I respect that.
isn't quite so simple, but they're right about one thing. I hunt monsters, and I always catch my prey. My latest target is a devil, and I'm right on her tail. Once I'm through with her, she'll never escape the fires of the first hell."
Okay, so he's basically like a monster hunter. Speaking of devils, it's not Karlach it's after, is it? One of the horns is broken.
10 years ago, I was sold to the Archdevil Zariel. She put a Hellfire engine in my chest and made me her prize soldier. But I've escaped now. Thank you, Mind Flayers. I've got a few scores to settle. If this engine doesn't burn me to ash first, I'll need people I can trust. An infernal mechanic, and a serious amount of luck. But you know what? I'm not worried. After 10 years in the Hells, I can take on anything. I've got my chance at freedom, and believe me, I'm going home.
Wherever home is. Okay. Yeah, you said he's after a devil. I wonder, I guess, but Will kind of sounded like he doesn't hunt monsters for money. He just does it because he's like, this is the thing. I'm a monster hunter. I protect the small folk and stuff. But I don't know.
My rancid blood whispers to me, kill, kill, and kill again.
I'd go see something about that.
My ruined body yearns to reap death in this world. And when this foul urge calls, it possesses my whole being.
Wow.
Injured, beyond repair. I know nothing besides this. I must resist the dark urge, lest it consume my mind. I must discover who I was and what happened to me before my twitching knife hand writes a tragedy in blood.
His eyes look cool. So you're just some serial killer, buddy. Okay. Alright. Now, is something actually going on with him, or is he an actual just a serial killer? So, yeah, quite an eclectic mix. Obviously, we're not going to choose to play as any of those. We're making a custom character. I don't think I'm getting to the we do a randomizer, I guess. There we go. That'll start. Custom origin. Right, okay, here we go. Let's have a look at all the different races. God, we've got choices, haven't we? Got some choices. Yeah, you know, you guess you'd be friends with him. You should just embrace it, Akuma. You should be like, why fight against it, buddy? Why fight against it? Just have some fun. Spread the blood around. Anyway. Human. Human, there's a common face in Faerun. Humans are known for their tenacity, creativity, and endless capacity for growth. Sounds good off the bat. Okay, movement 9 meters per turn. Civil militia have weapon proficiency with spears, pikes, halberds, and glaives. Armor proficiency with light armor and shields. Human versatility. Select an additional skill to be proficient in. And your carrying capacity is increased by 25%. Okay, what else have we got on here? Body types. Okay, so it's male and female will be like standard bro or chonker. Okay. God, he's quite chonker. Look at the difference. Giant man. I don't think it matters at this point. Because we're going to look at the others. But yeah, so there you go. So humans, I don't know what the movement is, but I guess that's kind of based on use size, isn't it? So they have basic weapon proficiency with like various pole arms, light armor and shields. They get an additional skill over everybody else, just because they're versatile humans, and they can carry an extra 24% stuff. Okay, interesting. This is compared to a halfling, for example. Buddy. Right, 7.5 movement. Small yet capable. Halflings prefer the comforts of home and hearth, but their natural luck and dexterity makes them fine adventurers. Lucky. When you roll a 1 for an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw, you can re-roll the die and must use the new roll. Okay. So you can basically avoid critical failures. Pretty much. That's pretty nice. And brave. You have advantage on saving throws against being frightened. I'm not exactly sure why halflings would be naturally braver than any of the other races. But I don't know. They're just coming up with things, aren't they? I don't even know what class we're going yet, do we? I guess we'll leave it on monk in a minute, but... So we'll go through it. This guy looks just like me. He looks a little bit like me. I'm not necessarily making a monk. Right, that's just what it's on at the minute. Because they don't care. Because they're like, oh, I'm kind of shit, so whatever. No, they're not shit. They're amazing. Right, I guess we're looking at some elves, right? Let's go to the standard elf, right? With ethereal countenances and longer lifespans, elves are at home with nature's power, flourishing in light and dark alike. Same movement as a human, makes sense. Elven weapon train, proficiency with long sword, short bow, and long bow. Swords and bows. Okay. Dark vision, can see in the dark up to 12 meters. Okay, handy. Fey ancestry. You have advantage on saving throws against being charmed, and magic can't put you to sleep. Okay, so they're hard to use charm abilities on, and they cannot be put to sleep through magical means. Okay, interesting. So, where do half-elves fall in the middle of that? Curious, ambitious, and versatile, half-elves are welcome everywhere, but struggle without a community to call their own. Okay. Same movement speed. Civil militia. Okay, so that's the same as the human benefit with the weapons. And they get their elven dark vision. Okay, so they are literally in the middle of humans and elves. They don't get the elves fighting abilities, they get the humans fighting abilities, but they do... And they don't get the carry capacity with the humans, but they do get the dark vision, and they do get their the Fey ancestry saving throws. Interesting. Oh yeah, look at the beef elf. The fact of the matter is, I'm probably going to be a beefer. Honestly. Whatever race we go for, I'm going to be a... Oh, let me go back to the halflings for a minute. Oh, you can't be a beef halfling. That's very disappointing. You're a little chonker. I wonder what about gnome or dwarf. We'll look at them in a minute, but let's keep looking at the elves for now. Okay. Interesting. So let's check out drow elves. Drow elves are elves that live underground. For those who are not aware, from my understanding anyway. Driven the Underdark, that's what it's called. Of course, Drizzt Do'Urden being the most famous of drow elves, I believe, from Forgotten Realms lore. Don't remember too much about the stories, but yeah, he's a big deal apparently. Most drow have adopted a ruthless pragmatism, so they're not. You might look at the dark elves, they're bad guys. No, they're not bad guys at all. They might have people being prejudiced against because like, oi, look at your grey skin, buddy. I don't know, or the fact that they're kind of removed from everybody else and they live underground. So they probably had it harder than a lot of people generally, on an average. Give me Chonka Drow. Oh, look. But yes, it's understandable where the ruthless pragmatism comes from. It doesn't mean they're bad guys, certainly not. But maybe some people have the perception of that. While the Lothsworn delight in the goddess's evil tenets, the Seldarine reject her attempt to overthrow the leader of the Elven Pantheon. Okay, so they've got their own drow elf goddess who is evil, who's like, fuck the other elves. I'm the daddy. And she's got plenty of followers, so like, yeah, fuck everybody else. Let's go wreck them. But the counter to that, the Celadrine, are like, no, that's evil and wrong. You shouldn't be about that. We should be getting along with everybody. Interesting. Yeah, I don't remember the stories or much about him, Logan, but I remember very greatly enjoying them as a kid, and yeah, definitely thinking he was a badass. But anyway, so they got standard movement. Drow weapon training is a rapier, short sword, and hand crossbow. Now, all these weapon trainings, I assume this is what you get as standard just for your racial disposition. There's nothing to say you can't learn any of these if you're a different race. You just don't have them at the start. Obviously, I'm not familiar with Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, so I don't understand how it works yet. But that's my assumption going at this point. Superior dark vision. Double the distance of regular elves' dark vision. Interesting. Makes sense, they live underground. And of course, they still have the Fey ancestry, because they're still elves at the end of the day. Okay, we've already looked at halflings, so let's look at classic dwarfs. Classic dwarfs. There we go. There's a big chonker. Shame you can't get a chonker, but as durable and unyielding as their homes of stone, dwarfs are some of the finest warriors, miners, and smiths of Faerun. Of course they are. They have the reduced movement speed because they're little legs. Dwarven combat training, battle axe, hand axe, light hammer, and war hammer. Scoo. He's got that dwarven combat training. Dark vision up to 12, same as the elves. Dwarven resilience. You have advantage on saving throws against poison and have resistance to poison damage. Okay. Very resistant to poisons. Good to know. Gnomes. So gnomes, how are gnomes different to halflings? Like physically they kind of look the same, but I don't know. Small, clever, and energetic. Gnomes use their long lives to explore Faerun's brightest corners and darkest depths. Okay, reduced movement. Gnome cunning. You have advantage. And obviously I don't know what advantage means exactly when they say that, but on intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws. So any saving throws related to those three stats. Does advantage mean they get a +1? I don't know what that means exactly. We shall see. Right. Okay. Cool. Logan. Yeah. That makes sense. Okay. Hard to look at. Okay, you basic stats. This is what you're getting as a level 1, but looks a bit related to that job. Okay. Half orc. I guess regular orcs are you know, they're I assume are not are kind of like monsters, aren't they? Right, in in Forgotten Realms, I believe. I don't know though. So hence you can't be an orc, but you can be a half orc because you've got, you know, half humanity in there. Thank you, Rat. So anytime it says advantage, it means you're getting 2 rolls and you're getting the best. Excellent. Thank you, Logan. There you go. Educate me here, guys. And disadvantage means you roll 2, but you have to take the lowest. Okay. I don't see that meaning there's too much of a disadvantage. Oh, no, I guess you've got double the chance to get a lower number, so I guess it is. Half orcs go hard. You know, the teeth would bother me. Having those teeth, you know, scratch your face or something. Anyway, creatures of intense emotion. Half orcs are more inclined to act than contemplate. Relatively. Obviously, I'm sure you get super smart half orcs. Whether the rage burning their bodies compels them to fight. Rage burning my body. Guess that's your typical half orc. Or the love filling their hearts inspires acts of incredible kindness. Okay, so they're just intensely emotional peoples. Okay, that's fair enough. Standard dark vision. Relentless endurance. If you reach 0 hit points, you gain a single hit point instead of being becoming downed. That's pretty awesome. Obviously, you probably don't want to get yourself in that situation in the first place, but it means you have an extra life, basically. You cannot be felled in a single hit, so to speak. It takes you that extra hit. Now, of course, the chance of you necessarily getting healed up if you're under attack in that time could be tricky, but, you know, it could be... That could be something, the difference between victory or defeat. It's not something I never like to rely on an ability like that, though, but... Savage attacks. When you land a critical hit with a melee weapon attack, your damage dice are tripled instead of doubled. Okay, so a crit means double damage, I assume, except for crit as a half-orc with melee is triple damage. Interesting. Okay, let's have a look at these. What even are these? I don't even know. These are all new to me. David! How you doing there, David? You've gone half elf, have you? Yeah, the Dragon Ball looks good. Oh, I don't know. I like the idea of them all. How you doing, David? Are you well? I like the idea of... It's too many choices. This is my problem. We're going to spend the next... How long we got? Hour and a half just making a character, by the way, guys. We'll actually do some gameplay tomorrow. Anyway. So tieflings. So tieflings are little devils? I don't know. You tell me. I don't know. I've got sub-races of them as well. I need to look at all these. Fucking hell. But anyway, tieflings descended from devils of the 9 hells. These did not exist when I was playing Dungeons & Dragons. I'll tell you this. Tieflings face constant suspicion in Faerun. Okay, so not native to Faerun, but obviously they're from the 9 hells, whether that is different plane of existence. Thankfully, their arcane abilities make them natural survivors, so they probably get a bit of racism. But obviously, you know, whoever we are, we ain't gonna give a shit. We judge people as individuals. But they have a standard movement. They also have the standard dark vision. Hellish resistance. Resistance to fire damage, taking half damage. So flat, half damage from fire. Okay, interesting. Moving on. Githyanki. I remember Githyanki from the Monstrous Manual. They were never a playable race, and I don't even remember reading up about them, what their deal was, but they're from another dimension or something. I don't know. Maybe TIE Fighter. Yeah, I think they're meant to, aren't they, Rat? But anyway, so this was Zayel was her name? I don't know. Yeah, it's been so long since I played Baldur's Gate 2, David. I can't really remember. But, with Ruthlessness born from Mind Flayer enslavement, Githyanki ride the Astral Sea atop red dragons, bringing their silver swords and psionic might to bear against any trace of the Illithid menace. Okay, so they used to be slaves of the Mind Flayers, and somehow they've kind of escaped from that, and now they're after vengeance against them. Okay. Makes sense. So they have astral knowledge action. Wow, okay. Gain proficiency in all skills of a chosen ability. Obviously, I don't know the technical terms of what proficiency and skill and ability mean at this juncture, but I'm sure I know what the gist of it is. So they can go, hey, I need proficiency in these set of skills right now. Until, I guess it's just a once per day, until long rest. And so you have a long rest. Interesting, fascinating ability. They also cantrip. So I guess cantrip, back in 2nd edition, was any kind of basic spell. So I guess they've evolved that into cantrips are a type of spells, like more minor ones, maybe. Thank you, Sonic's Mage Hand. Conjuration cantrip. Create an invisible spectral hand that can manipulate and interact with objects. Lasts 10 turns. 18-meter range. And based on their intelligence stat. Okay. That's kind of cool. Invisible hand. You can just pick things up with. That's pretty cool. Standard movement. Martial Prodigy. A lifetime of relentless training gave you armor proficiency with light and medium armors. There are proficiency with the short sword, long sword, and great sword. So they're kind of badasses. You can't be a chonker, though. You can't be a chonky Githyanki. Interesting. And it looks so the arms look so spindly. Never mind. Lae'zel was it? We looked at the introductions earlier, David, but fascinating. Let's look at the Dragonborn. Oh, I mean, look, how can you beat a dragony boy? A proud race that values clan and skills above all else. Once enslaved by dragons, they strive to be self-sufficient, not wanting to be beholden to anyone, not even the gods. They have no special abilities, which makes me think maybe they do have some special abilities. Interesting. Very fascinating. Yeah, I mean, they're like... They probably... I mean, I'm sure lizard men definitely existed before the Elder Scrolls, but the term Dragonborn... Was it in Dungeons & Dragons before Skyrim? You tell me. You tell me. Anyway, so here's the sub-races. I didn't even... Holy hell, we've got a lot to look at here. Let's back up slightly. Let's go through this again. So there's no sub-race of humans. Fine. Right, elves. High elf or wood elf. We probably know the difference, but they've got different abilities and stuff. So high elves. Heirs of the mystical Feywild. High elves value magic in all its forms, and even those who do not study spellcraft can manipulate the weave. Even up, buddy. So being a high elf, you get a firebolt. So literally, just by being a high elf, fighter or thief or whatever, rogue or whatever, you're not even a wizard. You have a fireball you can chuck around. What? What? Ugh. Has it, Logan? I don't remember it from when I'm going back to the 90s, so who knows? So maybe they took the term from D&D. I don't know. It's only a 1d10 fireball, so it's no big deal. And is it single target or is it AoE? That's the problem. I don't want to be chucking fireballs around, hit myself. Wood elves. These elves spend their reclusive lives in Faerun's forests. Decades of training in archery and camouflage are enhanced by an otherworldly swiftness. So they are the quickest. They get an extra 1.5 meter movement. Okay, interesting. And of course, okay, so half elves can be any of the 3 elf types. High elf. Such of the Feywild remains in half elves for this bloodline, and even those untrained magic possessing the wild powers, so they still get the fireball. The wood half elves, like the wood elf parent, these half elves are quick in stride and an eye for stealth. You many break away from isolation in Faerun's forest to explore the rest of the realms, so they get the movement speed. And the drow half-elves. Most half-drow result from liaisons between Seldarine drow and surfacers. They're the friendly drows. While half-drow inherited a few magical gifts, they aren't usually raised in the Underdark. No. Dancing Lights cantrip. Illuminates a 9-meter radius for 10 turns. Okay. So I'm going to guess that if we go back to drow. No. So, okay. So do they not get that? Do drow not get that? As standard? Okay, maybe the half-elf drow get that because they, Oh, you get to pick your... Oh my god, you get to pick your spell! You're not stuck with a fireball. You can pick any one spell. Oh, fucking hell. It's too much to look at. Yeah, indeed. Okay, let me back this up. Fucking sure you are, mate. Okay, so yeah, if you're a high elf or any of the related to high elves, you can choose any spell. So let's have a look what the other options are. Not that it matters, because I don't even know if I'm going through this. This is just me being curious. And those of you who are thinking, fuck's sake, Iznib, get on with the game, understand that is not how I play video games at all. Certainly not something like this. It's all brand new to me. I'm sure most of you who are regulars here were expecting this, but this is just the nature of the beast, folks. So look, so another option there is a bone chill. So that's 1 to 8 damage, but it's necrotic damage. Is that? I guess different things have different weaknesses and strengths. Again, different damage types. Oh, and prevents the target from healing until your next turn. Undead receives disadvantage on attack rolls. Oh, nice. Acid splash. So that's 1 to 6. That's a bubble of acid that damages each creature it hits. So I guess that's an AoE. Dex save. So I guess that's a saving throw to get out of the way. Okay. Poison sprays 1 to 12. But that's only 3 meter radius. Or 3 meter range. You're literally projecting it just in front of you. That's poison damage. Okay. Ray of Frost. 1 to 8 damage up to just the target's movement speed as well. Okay, so you're getting some damage and slowing them down. Shocking Grasp, that is in literally melee range. Target cannot use actions and has advantage on anything wearing metal armor. Well. Sounds pretty cool. D8 damage, very nice. Blade Ward. 2 turns. Take only half the damage from bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing attacks. Okay. I mean, that's pretty amazing. If you're wading into combat. No, that wasn't directed at you, Logan. That was just in general. If people were like wondering, hey, make a decision. Yeah. Yeah, and here's the thing. If I wasn't streaming this, I was just playing this offline, not on my own, I probably would be in the game already, because I don't have to talk about anything. It's all in my head. I'm not talking to you guys, and you guys aren't talking to me, so... But yeah, let's have a look what else we got. So, friends. Hey, buddy. Shake my hand. Gain advantage on charisma checks against the non-hostile creatures. I guess the idea is you use that on yourself before you're trying to... before you, let's say more there. Oops. Okay, that's if you want actually more, details there. Inspect. Okay, non-hostile creatures. Okay, this spell can be cast while you're silenced. Interesting. In higher difficulty modes, which we're not playing, we're playing the normal mode, the target might accuse you of enchanting them. Hey, you're trying to trick me. No, I'm not, buddy. We're friends, right? Hilarious. What else? Dancing lights. Okay, that's the illumination one. Light. Infuse an object with an aura of light. Ah, okay, so that's a difference. So you can do a 9-meter radius for 10 turns if you need a lot of light for a short duration, or you can enchant your helm, judging by the picture there, or something. But that lasts a long time. Okay, interesting. That's the mage hand for moving stuff. Minor illusion. Create an illusion that compels nearby creatures to investigate. Interesting. You can remain hidden while casting this spell. This can be cast with your silence. Okay, if you need distraction, hey, look at that over there, guys. True Strike. Gain advantage on your next attack roll. Yeah, can't go wrong with that. Fascinating, guys. Fascinating. Just back up here now. I've got an idea of these elves getting their free spells. So yeah. Right. Okay. So here you go. So the drow elf differences here. Lothsworn. These are the go do murder side of things. Raised by Lolth's cult in the city of Menzoberranzan. Menzoberranzan? There we go. These drow embody the virtues of their corrupt and merciless goddess. Lolth marks her followers with bright red eyes, so those in the Underdark will learn to fear them on sight. Now, you could be Lothsworn, but you don't have to go like serial killer. But, you know, your goddess will be happy if you do. Seldarine. Drow can be found seeking allies from all over Faerun, aiming to settle their conflict with Lolth and each other by any means necessary. Okay. Good to know. So we've got the different half-elf types. Okay, here we go. Lightfoot halflings. Stealthy but social, these halflings travel over Faerun to make names for themselves. Naturally, and advantage on stealth checks. So definitely not a bad option if you want to play a stealth character. We've got a strong heart. Legend has it that dwarven blood gave strong hearts their hardiness. Resistant to poison and well springs of endurance, these halflings easily hold their own. Advantage on saving throws against poison and resistance to poison, though. So they've got some dwarf in their ancestry. Okay. Guess that's the idea. Right, gnomes. Okay, interesting. Different gnome types. I don't know how the spells are going to work, Heather. We'll find out. If you definitely get access to stronger spells. Whether those ones get stronger, I don't know. Right. Okay. Interesting. Anyway, rock gnome. The most commonly seen known on Faerun's surface. Rock gnomes are named as such for their hardiness and affinity for metal. Okay, so we've got their standard dark vision, artificer's law, and twice your proficiency bonus to history checks. Okay, so they're kind of, you know, something of historians, are they? Very well. Forest gnomes, even smaller than their cousins and twice as reclusive. Forest gnomes are a rare sight in Faerun. They master magic and craftsmanship in their distant, idyllic groves. So it's got this dark vision there. And spell, level 1. Speak with animals. Gain the ability to comprehend and communicate with beasts until you do a long rest. Okay. Okay, so they can basically keep that up at all times, I guess. Interesting. And finally, deep gnomes. Okay, the drowy gnomes, I guess. More guarded than their surface cousins, deep gnomes survive in the Underdark with dark vision and skillful stealth. Right, okay, so they get the advantage on stealth checks, and they have the double dark vision. Okay, interesting. Okay, half-orcs do not have a sub-race. Who haven't we looked at yet? Dwarfs. Right, yes, 3 different kind of dwarfs here. Gold dwarfs. These dwarfs are known for their confidence and keen intuition. The culture of their deep kingdom values family, ritual, and fine craftsmanship. Your hit point maximum increases by 1. And increases by 1 again every time you gain a level. Wow. Chonker boys with the hit points. Shield dwarfs. Great losses in ancient wars against goblins and orcs have led these dwarfs to adopt a cynical mindset, but they will endure anything to restore their ancestral homelands. Armor proficiency with light and medium armors. Okay. Duergar. Deep dwarfs, I guess. Once enslaved by the eldritch mind flayers. Oh my god. Duergar adapted to freedom with harsh practicality. Their cold demeanors and gift of stealth are well known throughout the Underdark. And so they got the superior dark vision and Duergar resilience. You have advantage on saving throws against illusions and against being charmed or paralyzed. Okay. Interesting. So I think that's all what I think of the standard races. Let's go back to Typhlins here. My god, the devils. I did not. Sorry, Logan. I might have missed that, buddy. I mean, I'm gonna read through it all anyway. What I briefly saw is it seems to be based on the literal dragon types. So I wonder if that'll be. I don't think they get breath attacks. Maybe that's asking too much. Or whether they'll it'll be just be on like resistance to certain damage types. I wonder if it'll be the same as what I remember from 2nd edition. We shall see. Yeah. Okay. Oh, they do get a breath weapon. Oh my god. I might go Dragonborn. I don't know. It's that. It's cool as fuck. Spoiled for choice here, aren't we? Basically. Embarrassment of riches. That's the time. Well, anyway, let's look at the Typhlins here. Asmodeus. Bound to Nessus. The deepest layer of the hells. Oh dear. These Typhlings inherited the ability to wield fire and darkness from the archdevil Asmodeus's infernal bloodline. Produce flame. A flame in your hand sheds a light in a 9-meter radius and deals D8 fire damage when thrown. So you can just be like walk around with a torch and then whack, lob it at someone. Throwing the flame immediately after you conjure it does not cost an action. So you can, conjure and throw in a single go. Extinguishing or throwing it on subsequent turns costs an action. Okay. So you can just carry around a flame with them and then throw it at people. That's pretty nice. Mephistopheles. Mephistopheles. Fucking hell. Oh, it's from Tiefling. Is it? No, isn't it Tiefling? Older Tiefling, is it? Okay. That's sounds more janky to me. Thank you, though, Logan. I appreciate that. Tiefling. So your tieflings, mate. That's right. Descended from the archdevil Mephistopheles, these tieflings are gifted with a particular affinity for arcane magic. Okay. Guess they get to... I don't know if they get to choose their spell, but he's got his hand there. Zariel Tiefling. From Zariel's bloodline, empowered with martial strength and can channel searing flame to punish their enemies. Thaumaturgy. Get an advantage on intimidation and performance. Okay. Interesting. Oh, background. Oh my god. We'll get to that in a minute. Is that the same for all the races? Yeah, okay. It looks like it. Doesn't seem to matter. Okay, so we'll look at those in a minute. Excuse me. Right, Githyanki. Very... Okay, there's no sub-races for Githyanki. They're all one and the same. Right, okay. So, the different dragon types. So, back in 2nd edition, we got, yeah, red, green, white, black, blue. But a coloured dragons and brass, bronze, copper, gold, silver. I'm sure things have changed somewhat, but back in 2nd edition, basically the coloured dragons are evil, because you know, and the metallic dragon, yeah, metallic. I think that's a word. The term most commonly used. Metallic dragons are good, because. You know, it doesn't mean they're like helping people or getting involved in stuff, but they're just naturally good. Now the metallic dragons, I can't remember their pecking order of power. Relatively, I know gold, silver, and then I don't know about copper, brass, bronze. I don't know which order they go in. Because this doesn't conflate to the Dragonborn characters. I don't remember their breath attacks or whatever they're doing. In terms of the chromatic dragons, I believe it was red, blue, black or green. I don't know which order came next, but then white at the end. In terms of rough power levels, and obviously the power of a dragon is mostly to do with how old it is, as opposed to its colour type. Red dragons breathe fire. I believe blue dragons are lightning affinity. Green, I believe, are like poison. Black dragons, as it looks like, it seems to be here, are, yeah, acid. And white dragons are kind of like cold attacks. So we'll have to have a little look through all this. I assume they're just all the same, though. Back in my day, yeah, it'd be like that. You can't talk. You're older than me, so. It's very baseball, maybe. So let me remind. So yes. Despite no ancestral links to the mighty creatures, these Dragonborn share the charcoal coloration, fizzling, acidic, acrid breath of black dragons. So that's saying the same. Yeah. Okay, so they must be related somehow, or why would they have the same abilities? There must be some offshoot of the species in some way. So yes, acid breath, 2d6 acid damage, a cone of acid. If they hit their saving throw, they took like half damage. That's insane. So I guess all the Dragonborn have these different breath attacks, and it also means that, you know, this is why they're you know, kind of maybe they don't have other various abilities than the other races do, because this is kind of like a cool thing to have. Draconic Ancestry, resistance. So you get the breath attack and resistance to the damage. So let me just remind myself. So yeah, blue is lightning attack. So they're all going to be 2d6, aren't they? And then resistance. So red is, of course, fire. White is going to be cold. And green, of course, is poison. Yeah, I thought it was. So what on earth are our other ones here? So gold. Gold dragon. So gold is also fire. They're just different coloration, I guess. So silver is frost. So they're equal to the white, the silvers. So copper is acid, because copper and black go hand, the counterparts. Bronze is lightning, so bronze goes with blue. And then finally brass, of course. Okay, so brass is also fire. Okay, so I guess technically it's whichever element you want to take, and it's the different colorations you want to go for, isn't it? Interesting. It's too many options here, folks. I don't even know I'm going to make the character today. We've got 1 hour. Fuck my life. Again, apologies for any of you who are like, you know, just would prefer me to just dive into the game, but this is just... Bear in mind, I would be doing all of this, the same thing, if I was playing on my own. It just would be at, you know, a quicker pace, because I'd be just reading through it real quick. There's too many options. So, firstly, I will dismiss what one thing that stands out to me as being as cool as fuck is the gold dwarf's hit point bonus in terms of min-maxing. That sounds very appealing to me. Oh yes, maybe in the scheme of things, it's not going to matter too much. However, I'm not a fan whether it's in these, you know, in a video game or playing D&D. I don't want to play like someone who's literally half the height as everybody else. Doesn't appeal to me. So we're not going to play dwarf, no more halfling. I'll just say that now. Part of me loves the idea of a hume because they are like your basic blank slate, and the fact they get an extra skill and can carry more stuff is quite appealing to me. But it is kind of basic bitch, isn't it? So it's like you're a fan of the poison attack and resistance. Yeah, like, and as we discussed it, I thought about it for a minute. Elves? Why did you give us so many elves to choose? I like the idea of the half-elf, though, being like the half, you know, way between. And the half-orc seem pretty cool. The tieflings and the Githyanki, I like the idea of them, but they're like they're almost like too different and too weird and wonderful for what I am used to. There's going to be enough weird and wonderful stuff in this game as it is. I don't need to play as one necessarily. The Dragonborn playing as a lizard boy that can do breath attacks on people. That's pretty fucking cool. Before we decide any of that, before we make a decision, I want to read about the different classes next, folks. Now, I'm sure I can work out most of what these are. Right, basically. But let me have a read of them anyway. Right, yeah, no dark vision. But I don't think the Dragonborn have dark vision either. But anyway, let's have a look. Barbarian, we get it. Strong embrace the wild that hides inside. Keen instincts, primal physicality, and most of all, an unbridled, unquenchable rage. Keep it in check, bruh. What's tav mean there? I don't think it doesn't explain. I'm not sure. But is that something they get +1? Okay, so each of the classes. So, you have starting hit points. Yeah, okay. And I guess your starting stats as well. So obviously a barbarian is going to have a lot of strength and constitution. They'll touch on initiative and more hit points. Also gets loads of fighting proficiencies. But let's focus on their abilities. So rage ability. While raging, you're stronger and you deal 2 extra damage with melee and improvised weapons. And when throwing objects, you have resistance to physical damage and advantage on strength checks and saving throws. I think I'm getting to the options menu at the minute, can I? I'll do it from here. Okay, cool. Let me just check this. Interface? Was no pings? No. Tooltips. Always. I think that was what it was. I think that was what I'm looking for. Maybe it isn't. Yes, it was. Yeah, sorry. I've not got to press a button to see the whole thing there. Yeah. I get to see it all in one go. Resistance to physical damage, advantage on strength checks and saving throws for 10 turns. Rage ends early if you don't attack an enemy or take damage each turn. Okay, so you just pop that in the midst of combat and just wail it on them. You can't cast or concentrate on spells while raging, obviously. No doubt. Unarmored defense. While not wearing armor, you add your constitution modifier to your armor class. So it's things like that that are very gamey and not necessarily, you know, it's, I'll say realistic within the fantasy world. So, hey, I'm Iznib. What do you want to be, Iznib? Do you want to be a fighter or a barbarian? I'm a barbarian! What's this magical ability in you that innately allows you to take less damage to your flesh? My flesh is tougher than your flesh because I'm a barbarian! You see what I'm saying? It doesn't actually, in any technical sense, make sense. Well, I guess it's neither here nor there, is it? But I think about things like that. Anyway, so we know what a barbarian is. So let's see how a fighter compares. Master the art of combat. Wielding weapons with unmatched skill and wearing armor like a second skin. What, you got self-heal? During your stamina to heal yourself? What? And it's a bonus action. That's kind of insane. It's just self-heal themselves. What? Wildness. Twitch is still playing around with you, Scoo. Don't worry about it, buddy. I appreciate you being here, but if you have to head out, if you feel it's pointless being here. It doesn't really matter. I'm just nitpicking at this point, but because to my mind at least, your class is not inherent in your physical being or your birth. It's something you've chosen to do. And maybe that's not the case with sorcerer or warlock or stuff, but Heather, thank you for the gift sub there. You don't need to do that at all. It's got a mic. Thank you, my dear. Anyway, let's see what else we've got. Rogue, stealth, skill, uncanny reflexes, rogue's versatility. Lets them get the upper hand in almost any situation. Sneak attack. Plus 1d6 slashing damage. Deal extra damage to foe you have advantage against. I mean, you've got to be behind them. Also works if you have an ally within 1.5 meters of the target and you don't have disadvantage. They're distracting them for you. Okay. You do sneak attacks. A range sneak attack. Okay, cool. That's what rogues can do. Oh, sorry. I wanted to, yeah. Compare the fighter with the, Okay. Interesting. So the only difference between a fighter and a barbarian is a fighter gets less hit points, but more intelligent and less charisma, but more intelligence. Otherwise, their actual physical prowess seems to be similar. Rogues obviously go hard on the dex and have a lot more wisdom and intelligence. and a lot more initiative, but they're hurting on the hit points a little bit. Bards, least hit points. But they are seemingly magic users, essentially, is how they've been reclassified. And in fact, actually, I say reclassified. I think back in 2nd edition, they were technically... They used wizard spells, but they were extremely limited. They would, like, get a couple of level 1, maybe level 2 spells when you get to, like, a very high level. You know, music is more than a fancy. It is power. Through study and adventure, you've mastered song, speech, and the magic within. Vicious Mockery cantrip. 1d4 psychic damage. Insult a creature. It has a disadvantage on its next roll. You suck, buddy! And the wolf is like, huh? Never mind. And they get the Blade Ward ability. Cantrip, excellent. Now on to spells, which are actual spells. Healing Word. D4 plus 3, heal. Excellent. Dissonant Whispers. I don't know if you can change all these as well, but we shall see. 3d6 psychic damage. Frighten a creature, but easier to hit and cannot move. Okay, for 2 turns. Wow. That's a lot of damage for a level 1 spell, no? And if they hit the save, it's like okay. Let's still take half damage. Okay, interesting. Tasha's Hideous Laughter. Oh my god. Leave a creature prone with laughter without the ability to get up. Oh! Interesting. 10 turns. Creature must have intelligence of 5 or more, so you can't just make a random doggo laugh itself for 10 turns. It can try to shake it off the effect each time it takes damage, which makes sense. Heroism. Make yourself or a target immune to frightened and gain 5 temporary hit points each turn. Each turn? For 10 turns? So you're healing beyond your maximum hit point threshold for up to a total of 50 hit points by the end of it. That's kind of wild. Bardic Inspiration class action. Inspires an ally to add a plus 1d6 bonus to their next attack roll, ability check, or saving throw. Okay. Interesting. That's bards. Oh, and more things. Class feature. Level 1 spell slot. You gain 2 level 1 spells, which are restored on a long rest. Okay. So they're minor magic users. It looks like they can use swords and stuff. So I guess they would be able to fight better than, say, a wizard in melee combat. But yeah, loads of like buff and debuff spells, basically. Love it. You're full-on rogue any chance you get, Wolf, with everything. Yeah, fitness is Lord of Dark, yeah. And he is. Anyway, monk that we kind of started us. They should be martial artists, basically. Yeah. Very respectable constitution and strength and excellent dexterity. And very strong wisdom as well. Decent hit points and excellent initiative. Channel your cosmic enlightenment by deftly dodging and efficiently disassembling your foes through stunning strikes and a whirlwind of martial arts attacks. Interesting. Flurry of blows. Class actions. Right, okay. D4 plus 3 and an extra D4 plus 3. For between 8 and 14 damage. Punch twice in quick succession. Punch your key points. Oh my god. So, little combo going on. Ki is the magic that flows through all living beings. You can use it to exceed your body's physical capabilities. Unarmored defense. Your reflexes are effective as any armor. While not wearing armor, you add your wisdom modifier to your armor class. And of course, that just means you have to, you know, not be armored. Which I don't know about. Martial arts, dexterous attacks. Attacks with monk weapons, quarterstaff, and unarmed attacks scale with your dexterity instead of your strength if your dexterity is higher. So basically, if you stick to unarmed attacks and special monk weapons, you don't need to worry about strength at all. You can just pile on the dex. Death strikes. Attack with monk weapons and armed attacks deal 1 to 4 bludgeoning damage unless their normal damage is higher. Okay, so I guess most other people's punches are not that good. Unless if you're a monk, then they certainly are. Bonus unarmed strike. After making an attack with a monk weapon, or while unarmed, you can make another unarmed attack as a bonus action. So basically you can double punch every single time, or, you know, or kick or whatever. Yo, Rock! Alright there, how you doing, Rock? Are you well, buddy? What's going on? I'm very well. How are you doing, sir? You're addicted to playing druids. Oh, God. We're checking out druids in a minute. Do they have shapeshifting? Aye. Let's check this out in a minute. I like the idea of the monk. It seems like a very cool idea, but in these games, I usually want to find the most chonky, strong armor that exists in the world, followed by the most chonky, strong, like, greatsword. Which is, you know, from the treasure gathering side of things, I want to, you know, it doesn't lend itself in that regard, but yeah, I'm well, Rock. How are you doing, buddy? Cleric. Obviously, your standard priest, healing magic. Clerics are representatives of the gods they worship, wielding potent divine magic for good or ill, and are usually reasonably good fighters. Resistance. Make a target resistant to spell effects and conditions. Plus 1d4 bonus to saving throws. Guidance. Target gains plus 1d4 bonus to ability checks for 10 turns. Sacred Flame. 1d8 radiant damage. Engulf for target in a flame like radiance. Well. That's just their cantrips. Drinking some cognac. Well. Fair enough, Rog. Are you looking after yourself, buddy? You doing well, are you? You get some transforming in a minute. Okay, well, let me get to that in a minute. Let's finish looking at the cloak. Guiding Bolt. 4d6 radiant damage. And your next attack against this target has advantage. Sorry, the next attack roll, so not necessarily from the cleric. Wow. Okay, Healing Word. Nice little heal there. Inflict Wound. 3d10 necrotic damage. Putrefy a creature with a necrotic energy filling your hands. That's you. Got to be in melee range, but my god, 3d10, that's insane. Shield of Faith. Protects a creature from attacks. Increases armor class by 2. Until long rest, so you can just cast that and then you're good to go. Damn. Bane. Up to 3 creatures receive a minus 1d4 penalty to attack rolls and saving throws. That's pretty nice. Now, do you roll the 1d4 as you cast? And it's just 3 creatures as well. Until that's 10 turns. That's pretty nice. That's a very nice debuff. Level 1 spell slots unlocked, so you gain 2 level 1 spells. Okay. Domain spells. Oh, you gain spells from your domain. They're always prepared. I don't know what that means, because, of course, you have to choose your deity. Oh, and they've got subclasses as well. Did I miss any subclasses? So what is your speciality of the fighter? Okay, we're backing up here slightly. Fighter. So, gain plus 1 bonus to armor class while wearing armor. Defensive. You gain plus 2 bonus to range weapon attacks, which is archery. Dueling. When you're wielding a melee weapon that is not two-handed or versatile in one hand and no weapon in the other, you do an additional 2 points with that weapon. So if you've got an empty hand, literally the fencing, great weapon fighting. Scoos. Big hammer. When you roll a 1 or 2 and a damage die for an attack with 200 melee weapon, that die is re-rolled once. Just getting piling on the damage, basically. Only if you roll badly. Protection. When you have a shield, impose disadvantage on an attack against your allies when they're with 1.5. Just be able to see the attacker. 2 weapon fighting style. When you take with your offhand weapon, you can add your ability modifier to the damage of the attack. Okay, so that's fighting style. Rogue doesn't have anything. Bard. Okay, that's literally choosing their starting cantrips. We've already looked at most of these, I think. Minor illusion, light, dancing lights. Yeah, okay. Spell. The level 1 spells. Animal friendship. Convince a beast not to attack you. Charm person. Charm a humanoid to prevent it from attacking you. Gain advantage on charisma checks in dialogue. Enemies have advantage on saving throws against being charmed. Condition ends early if you or an ally hurts the target. In higher difficulty modes, the target might accuse you of enchanting them. That's hilarious. Thank you for hydration, Rock. Let me get on that. Baldur's Gate 3, Rock, has just been released today. Taking us a minute to get going on it. And we're not actually but let's wait. We've only got 40 minutes left of stream. I'm not going to actually get into the game today. Or maybe I'll get the first intro. I don't know. We'll see. Excellent. Thank you, sir. Excuse me. Okay, there's basic cure wounds. Nice. Disguise self. Magically change all aspects of your appearance. Fairy fire. All targets within the light turn visible, and attack rolls against them have advantage. So that's to reveal invisible enemies. Oh my god. The feather fall. Your nearby allies gain immunity to falling damage. So healing word. Okay, so I was just checking. Cure wounds is more powerful, but you have to touch the person you're healing. Whereas the word, you can just do it at range. Okay. Long strider. Increases creature movement speed by 3 meters. Interesting. I like these spells that are until long rest. So you just cast it and it just stays on that person until you fully rest up, which is when you get your spell back anyway. I'm very much liking the idea of that spell type. Sleep. Put a creature into magical slumber. Select targets up to a combined 24 hit points. And that's 2 turns. And obviously, when they wake up. Could be great if you've got loads of weaker enemies. Like if you get ambushed by goblins, you can put a bunch of them to sleep while you deal with the others. Potentially. Speak with animals. Yeah, I've already done that. Thunder wave. 2d8 thunder damage. Thunderous force that pushes away all creatures and objects. I wonder if you can hit... I wonder if you can hit your own allies with that. I don't know. And start an instrument. Pick an instrument you'd like to use. It will influence the soundscape when you cast spells. It's going to be changed later by creating a different instrument. Okay, so it doesn't actually... It doesn't actually... This is just for flavour, I guess. Yeah, when you're playing your spells. Okay, cool. Well, we're getting through this slowly, guys. Okay, so there's no subs for the monk. So yeah, let me have a look at the different cantrips. I think I've looked at most of these with the cleric. Light. Yeah, I already looked at that. Blade Ward, yeah. Produce Flame. This is similar to the Tiefling's ability, which they got for free, wasn't it? Flame in your hand sheds a light 9 meters radius, and yeah, deals when thrown. Yeah, in fact, it's exactly the same. Subclass. Oh my freaking gold. Dragon King Slice. Oh, we still got that. That's still around. Don't get on hydration though. But yes, it's yeah, it's power of the universe. It's not gone anywhere, Rock. Right, so domain. So I guess this is kind of like what type of priest you are. I'm not sure. So you see the deity, that's coming up in a second. So I guess that's, oh my god, different. But anyway, life. Life domain is aspect of many good deities, offering spells that protect and restore the mind, body, and soul. Devotion empowers your healing spells. When casting a healing spell, your target gains additional hit points equal to 2 plus the spell's level. So if you want it to be a straight up healer, that is what you want to go for. Right, light. Light domain is offered by deities of justice, majesty, and primordial flame. Running spells that dispel darkness and harm the undead. Burning hands. 3d6 fire damage. Wow. Shoot us with divine light. Use your reaction to impose disadvantage on an attacker, possibly causing their attack to miss. Okay. Trickery. A domain shared by wicked, chaotic, and mischievous deities alike. Those who channel trickery specialize in deception and illusion magic. Blessing of the Trickster. Grant another creature advantage on stealth checks. Oh. So you can go, I bless you, my son, to be more stealthy. Interesting. Knowledge domain. Adaptable and adroit in all manner of languages and skills. Your mind is an intellectual cup brimming with exquisite knowing. Exquisite knowing. Command spells. First time I see that. Command a creature to flee, move closer, freeze, drop to the ground, or drop its weapon. Interesting. Nature domain. Embody the vast viridian power of the natural world. An avatar of the subtle divinity of fruitful avian migration, woodland silence, and the landslide's roaring fury. Okay. Shillelagh. Shillelagh? Am I pronouncing that correctly? I don't know. Your staff or club becomes magical. It deals 4 to 11 bludgeoning damage and uses your spellcasting ability for attack rolls. Okay, excellent. You learn a druid cantrip and become proficient in animal handling, nature, and survival. So this is the kind of... So the nature domain cleric is the cleric who likes the idea of being a druid but doesn't want to fully commit to being a druid. I see. Anyway, moving on. Tempest domain. Your faith has made you the very thunder that quakes the black firmament. The lightning coursing through your veins of a terrible storm. What? Thunderwave. Fog cloud. Blinds and heavily obscures creatures within it. Interesting. So blind is a debuff on them, I guess. Heavily obscure, I mean... That makes it harder for us to see them, in theory. Wrath of the Storm. Subclass feature. Strike back at an attacking creature, potentially dealing 2 to 16 lightning damage. On a failed saving throw, you deal half of that. Interesting. War domain, of course. Fortified by holy zeal. You brandish an arsenal of sacramental savagery. I like the terminology they're using. To use against those you deem unrighteous. Divine favor. Wonderful radiant damage. Oh, that's on your weapon. So you cast it on yourself and you get an extra D4 radiant damage on your weapon. So you're like imbuing. You know, you see bosses do it in Elden Ring all the time. basically equivalent. Shield of Faith, indeed. War Priest. When you make an unarmed or weapon attack, you can spend a War Priest charge to make an additional attack as a bonus action. So, War Domain is the most fightery-like of the clerics, I guess, as opposed to, like, non-specific, like, Tempest or, you know, whatever else. Fascinating. And here are all the deities. I don't know what difference any of these make. Maybe it's just all just for flavour, and it could very well be. Let's get through this as quick as we can. Selûne. Selûne, the Lady of Silver, presides over the moon, stars, and navigation. Her power over the heavens is constantly challenged by her sister Shah, who seeks to plunge the world into eternal shadow. And I do not see Shah on this list. Is that because we're in the wrong domain? Yeah, it looks like it. If we go to life again. Oh no, Loth is on there. So I don't think it actually matters. I'm looking at these correctly. Yeah, I don't know. Bahamut, the Angel of the Seven Heavens, is the dragon god of justice. His ideals of mercy and just authority keep him locked in an inexorable rival with Sister Tiamat. Okay. Tempest. Yeah, Tempest, Tyr, and Helm, and Mystra. I recognise all those from back in the day. Talos as well. Wait, Talos taken was obviously from Elder Scrolls as well, but I wonder if Talos was actually in this first. But anyway, who can say? Obviously, Tiamat and Bahamut were not in this first, but it doesn't matter. Everything borrows from everyone else. But anyway, Tempest is the Lord of Battles, overseeing war and its soldiers. He is the embodiment of honourable combat and condemns needless bloodshed. Okay, Tyr. The blind god rules over law and justice, encouraging valiant acts from his followers and relentlessly pursuing oath breakers. Helm. The Watcher is an eternal sentry among the gods, representing guardians across the plains. After more than a century of fading worship, Helm's power was restored with the second Sundering. Yes. Doesn't matter. Ilmater. The Crying God protects the oppressed and persecuted. His clergy are sworn to alleviate suffering, even if that means taking on that pain personally. Martyr God. Never mind. Enjoy. Garuda! How you doing there, Garuda? Garuda. You were our second prize winner of our raffle from last month. Obviously, we had a few days off, so we just did the raffle today. I've updated you. Actually, I haven't added Garuda in by name on the panels. Let me do that right now. There's always something. Consequently, all that really actually means, Garuda, you are considered an assistant producer of the channel for the month of August. Practically speaking, all that does is give you a vote. So I've marked it in the Discord. You can use that vote whenever you want. Obviously, a single vote has limited say in what, you know, when I've got some people with like literally dozens of votes, but it is all yours, Garuda. Use it as and when you wish, sir. You can message me on Discord anytime you like, and you certainly don't need to if you don't feel it's necessary. You can sit on that forever. But if anything ever comes along, you're like, it is. You really should give this a look. We can add it onto the list, and I'm sure it will get round to it eventually. But yeah, congratulations, sir. I had out more importantly than what's going on here. How are you doing, Garuda? I hope you're well, buddy. Let me find you. Here we go. There you are. Take you over from the flex board. I don't think anyone looks down at these. Yeah, get Cage out of here. Cage, pretending this is the producer. Get out of here, Cage. I mean, he will be again next month. A massive cheater. You're already back to school? Damn, great. I thought you, I did think you, had, broken up from school early, relatively, when you told me you were, like, done. Going back, you're already back at work at the beginning of August. Ah, that sounds painful. I'm so sorry, Coda. I'm sure you did. I hope you made the most of your time, bud. And you had a good summer. It sounds silly saying that. Summer's not over yet, but... yeah. Ugh. Yeah, everyone thinks, oh, yeah, teachers, they've got it easy. It's like, no, not really. Not really. Go have a chat with Gruder. I'm sure he'll tell you all sorts of stuff. Anyway, I'm sure you're hanging in there, buddy. Are you familiar with Dungeons and Dragons at all, Gruder? I am in a very olden day sense. So this is basically all new to me. But anyway, we're just looking through the characters and different classes and races and subclasses and deities and also backgrounds and all sorts of stuff. But anyway, a bit. Yeah, okay, yeah. So this Baldur's Gate, which I have played a bit of the first two back in the day, is set in the Forgotten Realms setting, which I think is kind of like... It's not the only one, certainly, but I think it's kind of like the primary, preeminent setting for Dungeons and Dragons as it is commercialized. Well, back when I played it 25 years ago, but also today. Certainly not the only one, but yeah, that is where this is set. My knowledge of that, well, I have definitely played in that setting. My knowledge of it is definitely limited. But yeah, this is the actual gameplay system is all brand new to me, so I'm just trying to slowly digest it all. But I'm glad you're doing well, buddy. Anyway, Mistra, we know, is the as the mother of all magic. As we know, she blessed Gale, and apparently, according to Gale, I was her lover as well. But we had a bit of a falling out. It's like, wait, what are you talking about, buddy? Mistra oversees the weave. It's like the fade, maybe, from the Dragon Age equivalent, and spreads arcane knowledge to mortal spellcasters. Her clerics preserve ancient lore and protect bastions of magical energy. Ogmar. Ogmar is the god of inspiration and invention, sharing knowledge with the world through his bards and clerics. Unlike many other deities, Ogmar accepts all moral alignments into his clergy. So you can be the nicest guy in the world, you can be the most downright evil guy in the world. He's like, do you like inspiration and invention and sharing knowledge? Then we're gonna get along fine. Kalemvor. Fair but distant, Kalemvor guides the dead to their appropriate plane in the afterlife. His clergy provides last rites across Faerun, but also destroy undead that have escaped Kalemvor's judgment. Okay, god of the dead, and also his priests are tidying up the undead. Moradin, the Allhammer, is a dwarven god worshipped by smiths, artisans, and miners alike. He and Leduga, who I cannot see on this list, are constantly at odds. Okay. Corellon Lorathian, creator of the elves. Wow, the ultimate elven god. Corellon Lorathian, Lorethian, try and get the pronunciation right. Corellon Lorathian, I think there you go. Lorethian. It doesn't matter. Oversees the elven pantheon as a whole, providing blessings to those who study art, magic, and nature. Garl Glittergold. The watchful protector is the king of gnomish gods. A deity of humor, gem cutting, protection, and trickery. Yondala. As the mother of the Halfling pantheon, Yondala is known for her kindness and open mind, encouraging her followers to protect the home, hearth, and nature. Okay. Lolth. Yes, the much reviled matriarch of the Drow pantheon. Lolth holds sway over spiders, the Underdark, and the wicked creatures of the demon web pits. Yummy! Her primary goal is to corrupt all Drow, transforming them into heartless cultists. No thanks. Oh yeah, I'm doing very well, Greedo. I'm doing very well. Very excited for this. We're not going to even get into the game today. We've had a bit of a wacky stream for various reasons. Anyway. Groomsh. The One Eye is the Orcs' patron deity. A god of war, conquest, and victory at all costs. He has held an ancient and immutable grudge against the Elven pantheon since Corellon Lorethian took his eye. Oh, well, I mean, someone takes your eyeball. You're going to hold a grudge, aren't you? I would. Tiamat. The many Mawed is a roiling mass of avarice and hate, currently trapped within the Nine Hells. Please stay there. The dragon god of greed eternally plots her escape, as do her many fanatics in the world of Toril. The world of Toril? Okay, so just hateful, hellish, many-headed dragon god. See you later. Alistrari. What? Too many vowels for me. Alistrari is the goddess of good aligned drow, beauty, song, and freedom. The Dark Maiden desires balance between all races and struggles against her mother Lolth's corrupt aims. Lathander. The Morning Lord is the god of the dawn and spring, of birth and beginnings. He is invoked to christen both new ventures and new life. His followers embrace growth and renewal and despise the undead. That's fair. Talos represents the uncaring and destructive force of nature. His followers see life as a set of random effects in a sea of chaos and take what they can. But who can say when Talos will strike next? So I guess Talos worshippers are very much like, existence is chaos. Don't worry about it too much. Talos is gonna smite everything eventually. So Tamora is the bright-faced goddess of fortune who favors those who gamble and set out on adventure with the utmost skill and daring. Well, la-di-da. Yeah, I would be shocked if we do not encounter spiders in this game, Heather. And unless there's reason not to, I will most assuredly splat those spiders. And, you know, just generally do a spider eradication. We shall see, though. Mialiki. It's been a while, folks. Is the goddess of forests and creatures that live within them. She's a remote and spiritual deity, often spoken of in but the quietest of forests. Okay. Forest and forest creatures. I respect that. Right, so depending on, obviously, your alignment and what class you choose and what subclass, domain, although the domains don't seem to be cutting off any of these, you can kind of, like, flavour your character in any way, shape, or form, almost. Love it. Anyway, we might run over slightly today while I just get through all of this. That's fine. Back to our classes. Druids. Something Logan is definitely a fan of. Druids channel the elemental forces of nature and share a deep kinship with animals. Mastery of wild shape allows them to transform into beasts from all over the realms. Love it. And they have a thorn whip, maybe. D6 piercing damage. Oh, pulls the creature closer to you. Cannot be pulled if it's huge in size. That makes sense. Ice knife. 1d10 plus 2d6 cold. Damn. Throw a shard of ice that deals d10 piercing damage, explodes, and deals 2d6 cold damage to anyone nearby. It leaves an ice surface. Wow. Why some spells can be cast while being silenced, I don't know, but this is indeed one of them. Fancy. Look at that, look at that. Enhanced leap. Triple a creature's jumping distance for 10 turns. I guess any of the touch spells, the melee spells, you can use on somebody else or use on yourself. Interesting. So it's not really giving us too much detail of what you can actually turn into. But I don't think it really matters. I guess that will be later. Be under ability. Okay, we'll talk about abilities later. Okay, let's look at Paladin. Fueled by the oath you swore to uphold justice and righteousness, you are a beacon of hope in dark times. Lay on hands, 4 points of healing. Touch to heal a creature or cure it of all diseases and poisons. As a straight up hit point heal, it's not that great, but removing disease and poison seems pretty damn handy. That's lay on hands charges. Divine sense. Gain advantage on attack rolls against celestials, fiends, and undead. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, just trying to compare to fighter. Okay, so I have more charisma. But fighters are generally better, literally better fighters. Dell. Oh, subclass. Paladin subclass. Oath of the Ancients. You fight on the side of light in the cosmic struggle against darkness to preserve the sanctity of life and the beauty of nature. Healing Radiance. Heal yourself and all nearby allies for 5 hit points. Regain another 5 hit points next turn. What? That's pretty amazing. Tenets of the Oath of the Ancients. Abide by the following tenets. Kindle the light through acts of kindness and kindle the light of hope in the bleakest hollows of despair. Shelter the light. Where love blooms, stand against the devilry that would snip its stem. So as a paladin, whichever one of these you pick, you have to kind of like try and do these in terms of the story. And if you don't, I think you might like you break your oath, so to speak, and you know, have some kind of debuff on you or something. Preserve your own light. Delight in culture and small joys to preserve the light in your own heart. I like the idea of this. The Oath of Devotion. Following the ideal of the knight in shining armor, you act with honor and virtue to protect the weak and pursue the greater good. Holy Rebuke. D4 radiant damage on anybody who hits you. For 2 turns. It's pretty sweet. Spike damage. Excuse me. So the tenets of the Oath of Devotion. Courage. Stride dauntlessly into action. Compassion. Show clemency when prudent and lend your arm to those in need. Duty. Tend your responsibilities. Obey just laws and support those entrusted to your care. Again, yeah, I like in all of these oaths here. You have to be careful. The Oath of Vengeance. You set aside even your own purity to right wrongs and deliver justice to those who have committed the most grievous sins. Inquisitor's Might. Your an ally's weapon attack deals an additional 2 radiant damage and daze enemies for 1 turn. Fight the greater evil. Exerting your wisdom, identify the higher morality in any given instance and fight for it. No mercy for the wicked. Chasing those who dole out their villainy by wiping their blight from the world forever. Scum! You shall be removed from existence. Yeah, Oh, right. Playing a paladin that you break your oath. Oh, my God. I can't even imagine how that would go down. I'm intrigued, though, Logan. Anyway, Ranger. We know what a Ranger is. They're woodsman archer guy. Unrivaled scouts and trackers, honing a deep connection with nature in order to hunt their favoured prey. Obviously. Obviously makes sense. True strike on themselves. Find familiar. Someone familiar. Fake spirit that takes an animal form of your choosing. Ah, you get a little pet. Get a little pet following them around. I might... Can anybody have that spell? Everybody can have that spell. We're going to have to play a spellcaster just to get the spell. Anyway, so Rangers can choose their favoured enemy. Sudden attacks and abilities of certain creatures have granted you a set of abilities useful in various situations. So Mage Breaker, battling spellcasters, proficiency in Arcana, and can cast True Strike. Keeper of the Veil. Sorry, spread that. Proficient hunting creatures from other planes of existence. You gain proficiency in Arcana, and can and cast protection from good and evil and good. I'm charmed, frightened, or possessed by them, and the creature attacks has disadvantage. Interesting. Bounty Hunter. You gain proficiency in investigation. Creatures you hit with ensnaring strike, either ranged or melee, have disadvantage on their saving throws. Okay. And Ranger Knight. You've sworn to serve a crown or nation and seek to bring its foes to ruin. Gain skill proficiency in history and armor proficiency with heavy armor. Okay, interesting. And then Sanctified Stalker. You swore to hunt the enemies of a holy or druidic order. You gain proficiency in religion and cast Sacred Flame. There's so many options. You could do so many playthroughs, even if you did the same thing in the game every time. Anyway, that's a favourite enemy. And then you've got a natural explorer. Years of travelling the wild make you particularly attuned to beasts or adapt to surviving in certain environments. Beast Tamer. Cultivate a strong bond with animals. You can cast Find Familiar without expending a spell slot. So how long does your familiar hang around with? And what they do apart from being cool? Urban Tracker. An expert at navigating the wild within the city. You gain proficiency in Sleight of Hand. Wasteland Wanderer Cold. Gain resistance to cold damage. With fire. Resistance to fire damage. Poison. Resistance to poison. Okay. Fascinating. Right. Wizards. Wizards master the arcane by specialising in individual schools of magic, combining ancient spells with modern research. I assume, was it Gale was his name? I assume he is was a wizard. Will was the warlock, and the Dark Urge was a sorcerer, I think. I'm not going to go through and look at all the different spells. Okay. Right, so wizards have an arcane recovery charges, and you can expend those to get spells back without resting. Pretty handy. Okay, so we've got access to all the level 1 spells, haven't we? So it's Mage Armor, armor class increase and dexterity modifier. Can't be wearing armor though. Fog Cloud, we've seen. Grease. Cover the ground in grease, slowing creatures within it and possibly making them fall prone. Nice. Magic Missile, of course. But God, it's got strong. Magic Missile in in Dungeons & Dragons second edition is like 1d4 damage. Here is 3d4 plus 3 is force damage. So I wonder if maybe some larger creatures are resistant to force damage. And they always hit their target. Nice. Burning Hands, Charm, Chromatic Orb, Thunder damage. Possibly creates a surface impact. Different type. Oh, choose a different type of damage. Interesting. Fascinating. Color Spray blinds creatures. Expeditious retreat. Gain dash immediately and as a bonus action each returns the spell ends. Nice. False life. Gain 7 temporary hit points. Not terrible though. Featherfall was seen. So yeah, I mean, mages get a lot of versatility in what they can do, including do direct damage. Ray of Sickness, poison damage. Nice shield. Yep, we looked at that. Okay, I think Witch Bolt, D12 lightning damage. Oh, link yourself to a target with a bolt of lightning. Deal an additional D12 lightning damage each turn by activating it. So you literally just link to someone. You're like, yes, take 12 damage, take 12 damage, take 12 damage. That's pretty fancy. Okay. And the cantrips are insane. That didn't exist in 2nd edition. So these spells you can just cast as often as you like. You just do them as often as you want. Wild. So warlocks, bound by pact to an all-powerful patron, warlocks trade their loyalty for supernatural abilities and unique magic. Would you do it? I wonder. Not as naturally intelligent. Maybe it's charisma powers there. Abilities? I don't know. Eldritch Blast, Blade Ward. Let's see. Only rangers get Find Familiar. Well. Oh, yeah. Of course. Of course, Akuma. We're literally at the end of the stream, but I guess we might make a character before we finish it now. But they do have a subclass, the Warlocks. So let's have a... I don't think they get different abilities, do they? They get different spells. Fucking hell. Okay. Oh, jeez. The Fiend. Warlocks in service to Fiends work towards corrupting, destructive ends, intentionally or otherwise, and receive hellish blessings in return. When you reduce a hostile creature to 0 hit points, this gift from your patron grants you 4 temporary hit points. So you're getting temporary hit point boost anytime you kill stuff. Wild. Let me just have a look at the spells as well. Armor of Agathis. 5 temporary hit points and 5 cold damage for any creature that hits you with a melee attack. Arms of Hadar. 2d6 necrotic damage. Prevents targets from using reactions. Burning hands. So they use... Okay, so they have spells, like mages, but then they have other different kind of spells as well. Hellish Rebuke. 2d10 delayed fire damage. Interesting. Hex. 1d6 conditional necrotic damage. Make sure attacks deal an additional d6 necrotic damage to your target and give it disadvantage on an ability of your choosing. If the target dies before the spell ends, you can hex a new target, a new creature without expending the spell slot. Ooh. I don't know how long it lasts. Anyway, protection from good and evil and Witch Bolt we've seen. So anyway, back to the subclass. That's the Fiends. That's what you're pacted with a Fiend. If it's with an Arch-Fae, graced by a Lady or Lord of the Fae, you're imbued with all the sumptuous and scary qualities of your patron's extraordinary realm. Indeed. A Fae presence. Charm or frighten nearby foes with the Feywild's beguiling, disturbing magics. Interesting. You can charm or frighten for 2 turns. Different spells? No, it seems to be the same set. Finally, though, this is the most disturbing. The Great Old One. I'm gonna stay away from these motherfuckers. Warlocks bound to eldritch beings in the far realm work towards inscrutable goals, gaining strange powers over entropy and the mind. Lovely. Whenever you land a critical hit against a creature, that creature and any nearby enemies must succeed a wisdom saving throw or become frightened until the end of the next turn. Okay, very, very specific. you have to land a crit, and then they have to fail a wisdom saving throw. And it, you know, so it's the chance of it happening probably not that often, but it's not impossible. Or they become frightened. Obviously, I don't know what the specifics of being frightened or not are, but interesting. Right, finally. So the final class it is, finally. Sorcerers are natural spellcasters, drawing an inherent magic from a gift or bloodline. I wonder if we should play spellcaster just because you get... Well, we're going to get other characters who'll be spellcasters. Just because we get, like, extra... You get so many more options of things to do. Obviously, more squish, but... I don't know, I just like hitting things with a big sword. So they basically get access to all the same different kind of spells and stuff. But yeah, subclass. Wild magic. Your powers come from ancient forces of chaos. They churn within you, waiting to burst free at any time. Tides of chaos. Activate to gain advantage on your next attack roll, ability check, or saving throw. Increases chance of a wild magic surge afterwards. Draconic bloodline, eh? Your veins carry draconic magic, the result of a powerful dragon ancestor. So that doesn't change your race at all, I guess. Oh! Your hit point maximum increases by 1 for each sorcerer level. So you just get an extra hit point every level, I guess that means. Draconic resilience. Dragon-like scales cover parts of your body. When you aren't wearing armor, your base armor class is 13. I don't know what that means. 13, is that good? I don't know. Yeah, I want to wear armor, though. Anyway, storm sorcery. Whether crackling with the energy of ancient deluges or pierced by gales and hurricanes, your lineage is a strange tapestry scrawled by a tempest. What does that mean? Tempestuous magic. After you cast a level 1 spell or higher, you can fly as a bonus action until the end of your turn without receiving opportunity attacks. Is that opportunity attacks against you or opportunity attacks you do yourself? I don't know. I don't know if that's... We'll see. Anyway, I think that's literally all the classes we looked at so far. I have no idea what I'm leaning towards. I don't know if to go full-on sorcerer or warlock, in fact, or just mate, wizard. Paladin seemed cool. Druid seemed cool. Or just straight up fighter. So I'm not feeling for our character, because we're going to have other characters with us to fill these roles. I'm not really feeling rogue. I'm not feeling barbarian. I'm not feeling bard. I'm not feeling monk either. Yeah, I know fighter seems basic bitch, but I just like being good with weapons and stuff. just being good with weapons. Paladin seems cool because of like it gives you more like kind of role play opportunities to like be a good guy or whatever. I like the idea of it. And then there's also the potential I fuck up and break out oath, and then I'm like a disgraced paladin. Cleric and druid both seem very interesting, with lots of roleplay opportunities with cleric for sure. Lots of different things. I like the idea of ranger, not least because you have a little pet. You have a little pet, little familiar. And all of the spell castings, just like in diversity of what you want to do with stuff in combat. You know, because if you go fighter, you're just going to swing your sword. If you're any kind of spellcaster, you've got all sorts of different options you can do, but it does mean you're probably extra squishy. Yeah, I haven't even thought about what race yet. Probably not human, Heather. Yeah, we shall see. Right. Finally, let's just look at the backgrounds and see what it does for you. And these seem to be completely independent of race or class or subclass. or anything else. This is just literally your background. What did you come from originally? Thank you for the raft to get there, Heather. I'll add that on in a minute. So, Acolyte. You spent your life in service of a temple, learning sacred rites and providing sacrifices to the god or gods you worship. So if you're a cleric, that would be a very obvious background to take, but you don't have to be a cleric. You can just do that. Serving the gods and discovering their sacred works will guide you to greatness. Charlatan. You're an expert in manipulation, prone to exaggeration, and more than happy to profit from it. Bending the truth and turning allies against each other will lead to greater success down the road. Scum! Criminal. You have a history of breaking the law and survive by leveraging less than legal connections. Profiting from a criminal enterprise will lead to greater opportunities in the future. Truth about the world is that crime does pay. Entertainer. You live to sway and subvert your audience, engaging common crowds and high society alike, preserving art and bringing joy to the hapless and downtrodden heights with your charismatic aura. Downtrodden heightens your charismatic aura. Okay, performer, entertainer. Probably not going to choose that. Folk hero. You're a champion of the common people, challenging tyrants and monsters to protect the helpless. Saving innocents in imminent danger will make your legend grow. In gameplay terms, any of these backgrounds don't matter apart from you get some bonus skills. Animal handling. Influence animals, pet all of the dogs. +2 to... Okay, so you get +2 to survival. So yeah, Acolyte was insight and religion. +3 to religion. Charlatan was +5 to deception. So if you want to play a character who's actually going out to the way to deceive people. Sleight of hand, +3. Wheel, steal, that's just for stealing stuff, basically. Deception and stealth. Okay, so if you want to steal things or be stealthy. Entertainers, acrobatics, and performance. Okay. Guild artisan. Your skill in a particular craft has earned you membership in a mercantile guild, offering privileges and protection while engaging in your art. Repairing and discovering rare crafts will bring new inspiration. Insight. Read people and situations and detect lies. Very useful. And persuasion. Interesting. Noble ancestry background. You're raised in a family among the social elite, accustomed to power and privilege. Accumulating renown, power, and loyalty will raise your status. Like history and persuasion. Outlander. You grew up in the wilds, learning to survive far from the comforts of civilization. Surviving unusual hazards of the wild will enhance your prowess and understanding. Athletics and survival bonuses. Sage. You're curious and well-read, with an unending thirst for knowledge. Learning about rare lore of the world will inspire you to put this knowledge to greater purpose. History and arcana. Interesting. Soldier. You're trained in battlefield tactics and combat, having served in a militia, mercenary company, or officer corps. Show smart tactics and bravery on the battlefield to enhance your prowess. So you actually have to do these things to level these up or something. I don't know. Athletics and intimidation. Be a bully, threaten and induce fear. Finally, urchin. After surviving a poor and bleak childhood, you know how to make the most out of very little. Using your street smarts bolsters your spirit for the journey ahead. Sleight of hand to steal things. Stealth to remain stealthy. Wow. Yeah, I go all in, Heather. I'm sorry you haven't got to see the game today. It will set us up nicely to dive into the game properly tomorrow. And of course, you're going through all your abilities and stuff at the end there. We shall see how that goes. Okay, so you can just move them around as you like. Okay, so you choose something to get a +2 bonus and something to get a +1 bonus. I guess that... You can't do both. Okay. Use recommend. Clear. Oh, actually, if you want to just reduce them all down. Interesting. Strength, muscles, and... I know what most of these are, but... How far you can jump and how much you can carry. Strength saving throws as well, obviously. Dexterity, agility, reflexes, balance, extra effectiveness with ranged and finesse weapons. Also extra initiative and armor class. Constitution, stamina, and physical endurance. It's your hit point maximum. Intelligence, memory and mental power, improves spellcasting for wizards. Wisdom is senses and intuition. Charisma. Force of personality, improves spellcasting for bards, paladins, sorcerers, and warlocks. Influences the prices that traders give you. So, race, I can't decide. Class, I'm leaning towards either a fighter or paladin at this current juncture. Maybe not a ranger or a spellcaster. Not sure. Race, I can't decide. Background. The ones I like the sound of most are either Outlander, Folk Hero, or Sage. Okay, so it's Wisdom, Survival, Animal Handling rolls, Strength, Athletic, roll, or Sage is Intelligence for Arcana and History. This doesn't really matter. I like the idea of maybe going for the Dragonborn. You guys think what might like to see? I don't know. That's Lady Dragonborn, I guess. Otherwise I can't. I literally can't make my mind up at the minute. You went for the half orc, did you? Excellent. What was your class? Did you beat the game? Scotty, we are about 98% through the game. Got 2% to do tomorrow to complete it. The game of making our character. That's right, sir. Obviously, things will speed up once I get into the game and once I get to grips with what the hell is going on. It seems like an easy pick, doesn't it, Logan? It just seems like such a cool thing. And fixing my stream. Yeah, it's been a whole thing today. Well, so be it. I've had fun regardless. Let me go ahead and get Heather's raffle ticket there marked off. Thank you, Heather. It's 2 for you, Sarah. Unfortunately, Cage will win because he's and OBS and the internet and Twitch and having to update it and also it's just been a whole thing today. It doesn't trying to deal with Cage, but it doesn't matter, guys. So we will return tomorrow and we will be able to I'll have tonight to think. If anybody has strong feelings, I know it's your decision, but I would really, really like to see you play this race, this class, this background, whatever, or it's like, oh, you should really get that spell, or I really think you should do this or do that. It probably won't sway me, but if I, as a tiebreaker, get on the Discord and just drop a message and be like, look, this is what I want to see. I don't feel bad if so that would be Dragonborn Druid would be your choice, Logan. Yeah. I won't say I'm definitely decided, but I'm leaning heavily towards Dragonborn. I also like the half-orc and the half-elf as well as potential choices. The Poison Dragon. Yeah, fighter or paladin. Or spellcaster. I can't decide! Well, I'll have to decide tomorrow, but give me at least tonight to think about it. I am so very... let's get out of the game. I am so very excited to properly actually start this game tomorrow. Well, I've got a rundown of what is going on, I think. Maybe. Fair enough, Akuma. I appreciate that, buddy. So your vote would literally be whatever I want is what you would vote for. I appreciate that, bud. But you know, and I'm sure the core of it. But some people might be like if I was like, I want to be a human, they'd be like, no, pick something interesting, and that's fine. Diluting the elven blood is punishable by death. Yeah. You think a half elf would be cool? I don't know. Do the Dragonborn have any limits on like wearing gear? Like, 'cause they're big horny heads. Like, can they wear helmets still? I don't know if any of that ties in. But yeah, if anyone feels strongly, you can message me. And not to say I'm going to do it, but just because I'm going to have to rack my brain tonight and see what, if anything, I can come up with. Okay, so that's gear's not a factor. Okay, that's fine. Anyway, I'm so hungry right now. I didn't realise this. Today's been a whole thing. That's neither here nor there. Thank you to Root for the resub. Thank you so much, Root. Thank you to Professor Sean for the resub. 32-month streak. Sean, what a ledge. Also, thank you to Heather for the 100 bitties and the gift sub that went to Mike. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Gruder, for storming in LA. I appreciate you all. Yeah, the face would lack expression. This is true. And I like the idea of, like, not, like, in a game like this, not playing something that seems, like, special. Does that make sense? Which, of course, the most unspecial, of course, would be, a human. I think it's rather than stressing about numbers or trying to do a cool ability or things, I should just think try and lean into the role play aspect of it as much as I possibly can. We shall see, though. God, I'm so goddamn intrigued. But thank you all for being here, you absolute legends. I must leave right now. I'll return at the same time tomorrow, hopefully with no installing required, no update required, no technical issue, no need to update our graphics card driver, no issues on Twitch's end, no issues on OBS's end, and we should be good to go and get a solid 6+, maybe even 7 hours of the start of the actual game. So look forward to it, folks. I am looking forward to it. Either way, it's been a pleasure. Sleep well. Everyone have a good evening. Whatever you need to do, do it well. Message me on Discord if you need me, if you've got any specific ideas. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow for the actual start of Baldur's Gate 3. Nice, bright and early, Heather. I'll see you there. Let's go! Have a nice evening.